This is the first time I've had to do it on the iPad. So can you guys still see me on the screen?
No.
Yeah.
So I don't know how to do that. How can you look at your iPad and do the Zoom at the same time?
Yeah, I didn't know how to, I couldn't do that either. So I'm using my phone actually for my meeting materials. Thank you, Troy. So we'll call the special council meeting in the town of Grand Bay-Westfield on Friday, May the 7th at 12 noon to order. Item 2.
Record of attendance.
Thank you, Nicole. Let the record reflect full council is in attendance and Mr. Hartford has joined us as a guest. Item 3.
Approval of the order of business and approval of additions and deletions.
I move to approve
Thank
the
you.
Make a motion to adopt presented.
That was you, Ryan?
That was me. I make a motion to adopt as presented.
Thank you. A seconder, Deputy Mayor?
Second it.
Thank you. On the question? All those in favor?
Aye.
Contrary minded? Your motion is carried. It was unanimous. And the item 4 is 4, please, Nicole.
Disclosure of conflict of interest.
Is there any? There being none, we can move to item 5.
Tenders received. 5.1 project number 3973 Community Centrum Building Generator.
Thank you, Nicole. John, did you want to speak to that before we start?
No, everything has been verified. We're good to go on the generator as stated.
Thank you. So we will be looking for a motion. This is a long-awaited project to get the Centrum Building Generator. If for those of you who were with me back in the days of Deputy Mayor McGowan, you'll remember that this was very, very important to her and that, in fact, the leftover funds from her ambulance budget were transferred to the town of Grand Bay in order to see this through to the end. So this provides us this opportunity. So if I could have a motion to consider project number 20-3973.
So moved.
Second it.
Thank you, Michael. Doug, perhaps you'd like to give us an overview. I think there were 3 bids on that project.
Yes, there were 3 bids, 3 electrical companies, ProStar Electrical, Ainsworth, and GSK Hill. Came in slightly over budget at $50,000 for the low tender price. Some of that was versus the engineer's estimate at $38,975. So a little bit beyond what our original budget was of $35,000. Some of that came to light during the design stages. It was found with our electrical team that there were some internal upgrades that were added. Some outdated electrical components within the Centrum itself. So added about $9,000 to the original budget. So that with some uncertainties, obviously, in volatility in the market, I suspect is led to a little bit of a higher cost on some of the electrical components of the project. But overall, this tender, just to cover scope 2, so council's aware, is this will. The generator was pre-approved for purchase, and this tender is covering the installation of the generator when it arrives. So the construction of the civil works, the concrete pad, completion of the underground conduit and wiring, and then completing the commissioning and testing of the unit itself when the work's completed. So. I don't know for those, the proposed location for that is at the rear corner of the parking lot at the town Centrum building. So,
Thank you, Doug. Council, does anybody have any questions for Doug regarding this particular project?
Your worship,
Please,
if I
Ryan.
can.
Yes, please.
So just to be clear, because I didn't hear it in the motion itself, we're awarding to ProStar Electrical. Is that correct? For the low tender price of $50,000, whatever it was and change. Okay, thank you.
That's right. Thank you.
No, anyway, it's a long-awaited project. I'm happy to see it be completed before we're done, and I think it'll serve the community well going forward.
Well said, Councillor Gress. Councillor Evans, please.
Yeah, no, I just wanted to echo. It's a great project. It's long awaited. We're talking about this when I was director of EMO back in 04 to 08. For God's sake, it was trying to get it to happen. So finally see it come to fruition is exciting.
Thank you, Councillor Evans. And as for many of you who will remember, there were applications made to various government programs trying to help get assistance and funding for this. So finally, we've decided to take the leap ourselves. I see you, John, with your hand up there. Did you want to add to this, please?
I just want to bring to council's attention that what I'd like to do is use some of the money that we've saved in the other tender to offset the overcost in this.
Yes, I think you did explain that quite well, John, and there is some savings in the tender that we'll award next based on the engineers. So it will certainly make up the shortfall that we're realizing in this one. So we do have a mover and a seconder. If there are no other questions, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Contrary minded? Your motion is carried unanimously once again, Nicole. And our item is 5-2, please.
Project number 203974, storm, sewer, and street improvements.
And once again, Council, there were 5 bids that received for this capital work. That would be your street and road work this year. We can go to Doug. If somebody wants to move it, then we'll go to Doug.
I'd move that we proceed with awarding to the low tender, I believe it's Calbraith Construction.
It is. Thank you, Councillor Snodgrass. Do we have a seconder?
Second it.
Thank you. And so, Doug, perhaps you give us an overview. That came in well below the engineer's estimate. I think it was 611 on that. I can't see my work when I'm on here either. I remember it being 611, and I think Galbraith came in at 510. So perhaps you'd like to give everyone an overview of that.
Yeah, sure. So the market with four asphalt contractors in the area, the market's been quite healthy on the asphalt prices this year. So, and healthy, lowest I've seen them in is as far back as I can remember. So, $86, and I believe was the number. So, anyway, quite a great good price in asphalt numbering, that was really what was leading to the surplus on the project. So, overall, the work includes completion of Timberley Road and Birchie Drive, and then Highland Road, and other than that, there were no real surprises. So the market's quite competitive.
Thank you, Doug. Councillor Snodgrass?
I guess a question for Doug. This is probably a bit of an anomaly, like a blip year, right? With the pandemic and the impact it's having on the oil industry. So I would assume, for next year's forecasting, you're likely going to still consider previous norms in more recent years, right? Not go with the low price that we're seeing this year.
Exactly. This it's kind of an anomaly in the system. We see like across the board, one competitor is low, the others are really aligned with the norm. So I would expect for budgeting purposes, go forward, exactly. We'll carry the same budget numbers we have been carrying for the town. If we happen to, the market conditions stay relatively stable and we see that, that same approach next year, you may see some surplus and we'll deal with that. But I think this is a blip. Again, it's I haven't seen numbers this great in decades. So,
great.
Doug,
Thank you.
Sorry, Councillor Snodgrass. Doug, would you please reassure me? I hear you saying that it's down to 86. We were excited. I think it was our last meeting. We awarded the contract for asphalt to maybe NRB, and it came in at maybe 137 or something, as opposed to 145 that it had been last year. So while that was a low figure, it certainly isn't what we're getting in this contract, which makes me ask, did we ask for a specific grade of asphalt or anything, Doug? Are we guaranteed that we're getting the asphalt that we're hoping to?
Yeah, that's a great question. So, we're following MBDTI standard asphalt requirements. So there's been no changes to your materials or additives, anything like that would represent, a savings. It's really a market condition more than anything. And that's what we've been seeing this year. Again, the the market could change on a dime, next week. But as the contractors get busier, so some of it's timing, being out a little bit early ahead of things, and again, some of it's just supply, demand, and other market conditions driving the pricing. So no concerns with quality.
Thank you for that reassurance, Doug. Does anybody have any other questions for Doug? There being none, we'll call the question. All those in favor of award to Galbraith, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Or put up your hand, as the case may be. Thank you. Once again, Nicole, that was unanimous. So, and then we'll move to the next item.
Letter received from Dillon Consulting, May 6, 2021, re-project number 203973, Community Centrum Building Generator.
No, I think we've dealt with that one. We had it in notes. I'm looking at, if somebody's, perhaps I might have an old agenda. I'm not sure, but the next item on my agenda is I'm looking at it is PAC training.
PAC training.
Thank you, Nicole. Council, you have a report and a recommendation in there from staff.
I'd make a motion that the council of the town of Grand Bay-Westfield authorize the CAO to initiate the development of a training and development package for the Planning Advisory Committee, including but not limited to 1, onboarding package, 2, governance training, 3, legislation training, 4, IT support, including SharePoint, and a designated email for PAC members, and that funding up to $8,000 be allocated with monies from the building permit revenue to cover the cost. And that's Ryan, Councillor Snodgrass saying that. I know you can't see me, but
thank you. And a second by Councillor Bailman. Thank you, Ryan. And look, it's Doug, we want to say to you that you can make Jennifer available from Dillon to do that sort of training for us is a win for us. We certainly, council enjoyed working with Jennifer during municipal plan, and she's more than capable young woman. So we'll look forward to the training she can provide. So, yes, Councillor Evans, please.
Oh, I guess I just want to say I'm really happy to see this on the agenda, and I'm definitely going to support it because and all the things that have gone on in PAC, it's not that we have great volunteers, and I think sometimes we put in positions where none of us are well suited to know what we're actually dealing with. So I think the overall training is going to be really helpful and a positive step for that crew.
Councillor Snodgrass, please.
I just add to that, we've done the same thing with the incoming council members and candidates. Providing that orientation training is only fair to the volunteers and the people that are stepping up to do the job. It's not an easy job. You're put into positions to make difficult decisions, and the best thing we can do is arm them with the information and the know-how on how to do it, as effectively as possible. So I echo Steve's comments. I think it's a great addition for the community.
And so I want to go on the record as echoing that too. John and I have been working on this actually to ensure that they get the things we needed. And for all of our new members, look, it can be very, very difficult to make these decisions. And sometimes things drop in your lap that you're not expecting. So we'll provide them with all of the support they need because we're grateful, frankly, for their commitment to the town. So we'll call the question. All those in favor?
Excuse me, Your Worship.
Oh, I'm sorry. Before I call the question, John, you're so small, I can hardly see you there. I see your hand up. Well, you and Nicole having to share the same square, so I can hardly see your hand. Please proceed before I call the question.
I didn't have the information when I prepared the report for council, but I was finally able to speak with the town solicitor this morning. And they're going to be providing resources on conflict of interest and fiduciary responsibility for the PAC as well. I wasn't able to include that when I wrote the report because I didn't have that information, but that's another thing that'll be included.
Thank you, John. And we neglected to mention that you did share that with the team prior to this meeting. Okay. So noted in the record. So once again, on the question of providing that sort of training and support to PAC, all those in favor?
Right.
Contrary, that is unanimous. Nicole, contrary minded? Your motion is carried. And your item is 7.
Adjournment.
That's you, John. Thank you, Councillor Evans. And we have a seconder? Thank you, Councillor. On the question, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Contrary minded, we are adjourned at exactly 12:15. My clock shows.
Good luck, John and Bev.
Yeah,
you.
no, good luck on Monday, on May 10th.
Thank you.
And we'll look forward to those. Well, we won't find those outcomes until May 25th, I guess, but
Oh, Grace, I was gonna mention